Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back into another edition of Keytime Sports. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Keytime Sports right here on YouTube, Key City Sports on Instagram, and the Key on Millions.co. Here's my media feed. Here is my profile. And we now have week just to get a jump on everything since Thanksgiving is Thursday. We gonna look forward to week 13 already. The first game that is on the docket for week 13 in the NFL is the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. Now, both of these teams are in the same boat. We had the Packers early in the season. Everybody, was just gassing the Packers up, saying that the Packers gonna host the NFC Championship game. You had Michael Parsons this, Michael Parsons that, and now all of a sudden, let me tell y'all who the teams the Packers have lost. And do y'all still think that they are a championship contender? The Packers have lost to arguably lower tier teams in the NFL. You lost to Cleveland early in the season. You lost to the Panthers. Now, I did say the Panthers was going to be a dark horse team to make the playoffs, so that Panthers loss ain't looking too bad. And now you lose to the Eagles. Now, I'm going to get to the Eagles a little bit later on in the show, and I'm going to talk about Week 12's reaction tomorrow. But now, the Packers, hold on, wait a minute. I'm going to show y'all the NFL playoff picture as it's currently constructed because there was a lot of movement last night in the playoff picture with both the AFC and the NFC. So if the playoff picture, if the playoffs start today, this is who we would have in the playoffs. We had for the AFC, we would have the Patriots number 1, Broncos number 2, Colts number 3, Ravens number 4, Chargers number 5, Jaguars number 6, Bills. Now, one thing about it is when it comes to the NFC, the Rams is number 1. The Eagles are number 2. The Bears are number 3. The Buccaneers are number 4. Number 5, the Seattle Seahawks. Number 6 seed, the Green Bay Packers. And number 7, the 49ers. But there are a lot more other teams that could get that last playoff spot when it comes to either one of these teams. But one thing I want to talk about is the Packers. The Packers, they don't have the offensive firepower that they had early in the season. So I'm not sure if the Packers are going to be able to win versus Detroit. I just don't know. Now right now the Detroit Lions are a 3-point favorite. The matchup predictor has them as have a 54% chance at winning this game. And I believe the Detroit Lions will win this game because we don't know what we're going to see from the Packers from a game in, game out basis. And the Detroit Lions, they had a scare yesterday against the Giants, but they ended up winning versus the Giants yesterday. So, short week for both of these teams. I'm pretty sure today they are pretty much doing preparation for Thursday already. So, quick turnaround for both the Packers and the Lions and all teams that play on Thursday. The next game I am going to cover is the Kansas City Chiefs and the Dallas Cowboys. Now, let me tell y'all something. The $60 million man, Dak Prescott, came through last night when you needed an elusive win. The Cowboys got that elusive win. So I know that everybody was saying the week before Dallas defense looked all good and stuff, but that was against the Raiders. Now we done beat a team that is trying to make it to the playoffs, and The Eagles, they gonna make it to the playoffs. But I like what I'm seeing from the defense. Now, if there was some way, somehow, this is the first step. We got past the first step of that 3-week gauntlet. This is the second step against the Chiefs. Now, at the start of the season, I said that this game was everybody was gonna need to watch the Chiefs and the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, and look what happened. You got the 6-5 Chiefs, you got the 5-5-1 Cowboys. Both teams are trying to make the playoffs. Both teams are still in the playoff mix. This is probably gonna be the best game on Thanksgiving, and like I said, every time Thanksgiving comes, the Cowboys, they always have the best game on Thanksgiving, no matter what. So right now, the point spread came out late last night. I was looking at the chart. It started out at 4.5 points for the Chiefs. Then around midnight and 1 o'clock this morning, the point spread dropped to 3.5 points. Now, one thing I can say is for the Chiefs, we already knew that they were going to be favored in this game. But what the Dallas Cowboys can do, the defense on third down, they got to do better. I like what I'm seeing on first and second down. First and second down, you're only allowing two yards on first and second down. But it seems like when the defense gets to third down, they're giving up a 3rd down and 12, a 3rd down and 19. And last night, Cowboys gave up a 3rd and 12 versus the Eagles. And I'm looking at the game, I'm like, come on, defense. I'm like, y'all need to go to man, go to zone, send the kitchen sink, send a spy blitz, or whatever play you want to call. Send it to Jalen Hurts. But that one play that they needed a sack, they got that sack. Diggy Zua. Now I'm gonna give y'all my reactions to week 12 tomorrow, but I'm giving y'all the previews of week 13 right now. This game right here. Now this is gonna be a good game. This is gonna be a close-knit game. And now, as far as this game, I got the Chiefs winning, but you know, I want the Cowboys to win, but for business purposes, I got to go with I got to go with the Chiefs. Now, I'm going with the Chiefs, but I want Cowboys to win. That's why I say, sometimes you got to separate the fandom from the journalistic view of things. And I'm giving y'all my journalistic view on this game for Thursday. So I got the Chiefs winning this game, but I would not be surprised if the Cowboys somehow, some way, Dak, CD, everybody will together and get them another W over some legitimate competition. The last game of Thursday for the last game of Thanksgiving, Cincinnati Bengals versus the Baltimore Ravens. I got Baltimore winning this game. Don't need to go into a deep analyzation of it. You got Lamar Jackson back. You got Derrick Henry running the ball. You got Zay Flowers. You got Isaiah Likely. You got your defense. You got your special teams. You got your linebackers, your tight ends, your cornerbacks, your inside middle linebackers, all for the Baltimore Ravens. Now the Baltimore Ravens are over 500. They are leading first in the AFC North. I predicted that the Baltimore Ravens would win the division. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they are at a revolving door at quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is not playing this week. Mason Rudolph played yesterday, stunk up the damn joint. Also, you had a chance early in the season. If you were the Pittsburgh Steelers, you were 4-1. You had a chance to slam the door on everybody in your division. You didn't win the game versus the Cincinnati Bengals 3 weeks ago, and now you have given the Ravens flock life, and I think the Ravens, they got one of the easiest remaining schedules in the NFL. So Ravens more than likely will win this division, and I got the Ravens for the final game on Thursday night. Now let me get to the Sunday slate of week. Oh, excuse me. We got a Black Friday game. Chicago Bears versus Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles. How is everybody doing in Philly this morning after y'all lost to my Cowboys? Oh my goodness. Boy. That was a good game last night, but hey, second half, Cowboys woke up. Dak said, let me put my cape on and I'm going to get in this end zone. He like, damn, my wide receivers, I'm going to get in this end zone. And he got in the end zone. But back to what I was saying about the Eagles. The Eagles in this case, everybody is saying that the Eagles, offensively, they have trouble here. They have trouble there. And throughout the entirety of a season, you're going to go through trouble. You're going to go through struggles. And you're going to have troubles here and there. But every game, it seems like I'm watching an Eagles game now, and it seems like every game, the topic of conversation is either A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, or last night, Saquon Barkley. Now, Saquon Barkley, he only touched the ball 10 times and only had 22 yards rushing. Now, I'm not going to say that the Cowboys defense neutralized Saquon Barkley. I'm just going to say that the offensive coordinator for the Eagles, Kevin Patullo, didn't use all of his weapons at his arsenal. A.J. Brown is supposed to be averaging 100 yards a game. Devontae Smith is supposed to be averaging 100 yards a game. Saquon Barkley is supposed to be averaging 100 yards a game. You see, this is why I say that I need to be an offensive coordinator or damn, maybe even a head coach, because credit, I like Nick Sirianni, but Nick Sirianni, sometimes he just be over there on the sideline and he don't have nothing to call. He don't have nothing to call, and he just sitting up there letting the collapse happen. I'm going to tell y'all the last 12 possessions for the Eagles was punt, fumble, punt, turnover, punt, turnover on downs, and punt, and a kneel down. Now, the Eagles, they do have some flaws. But I'm not gonna blame this game. I'm not gonna blame this game on the players. Cause they did some of the players did what they were supposed to do. But as far as schematics concerned, this is where the head coach and the offensive coordinator, they need to be talking to each other on the sideline, because on that 3rd down and 9, even though Saquon Barkley got tripped up, actually it was 2nd and 9 with about 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter. So 2nd down and 9, Saquon Barkley gets the ball, he gets tripped up, it's 3rd and 2. Why are you calling a pass play on 3rd and 2? Just run the ball again. That's what Kevin Patullo, and like I said, Kevin Patullo, they should have called a run play on 3rd down and 2, because you got Jalen Hurts going back to pass. This is where he got sacked at. So you get to this point where the Eagles, I'm going to tell y'all, they'll remain in schedule, because the Eagles ain't sitting pretty, y'all. All you Eagles fans out there in North Philly and wherever other Eagle fans are located at, y'all ain't sitting pretty. because your offense last 12 possessions wasn't able to get anything. Y'all didn't even get inside the 20-yard line in the second half. Credit to the Dallas Cowboy defense. Y'all got Chicago on Friday. You got the Chargers in LA on December 8th. So those are two matchups that you could possibly lose. Then you have Buffalo in Buffalo on December 28th. Now, you got a couple of cupcakes, Las Vegas, and you got the Washington Commanders twice in the last 3 weeks. So you got a good fair amount of games that you can win on your schedule, but can the Eagles go on the road in the playoffs and win? I don't think so. I really don't, because right now the Eagles are the second seed in, well, if the playoffs were to start today, the Eagles would be the second seed in the NFC playoffs. But the Eagles, they have so many problems. They have more problems than a math book right now, because this is not just about offense for the Eagles. It's also about defense. You got injuries here, you got injuries there. And let me tell y'all something. All of the smack talk that y'all giving Jalen Hurts had a good game. Jalen Hurts had a good game, but this loss, I place it squarely on Kevin Patullo. Because why, if you are a top-notch offense, why are you only running the ball 10 times? That means that you only ran the ball 3 times every quarter. That's what that means. Now, me, I'm just a sports journalist and a sports creator. But I could call a better game than Kevin Patullo did. I can. I'm up 21. And let me tell y'all something. They were up 21-0 early in the second quarter. So the Cowboys, it looked like the Cowboys was about to get blown out. But Eagles, they helped out the Cowboys with a couple of fumbles, a couple of penalties. Now let me tell y'all something. I don't know when the last time the Eagles had 15 penalties in a game. Let me do my research. Last time the Eagles had 15 penalties in a game was 2021. And that was against the Cardinals. And at that time, they were 6-9, so they were already out of the playoff picture. So now, we get back to present day. Eagles, you got problems. You do. Do I think now the Eagles, they going to make it to the playoffs no matter what. They got a 99% chance, win or lose on Friday. So they already in the playoffs. But as far as winning in the playoffs, that is a different story. It is. It's a different story. And I would not be surprised if the Chicago Bears win in Philadelphia. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. The Chicago Bears are in first place in the NFC North. I never thought I would have said that at the start of the season. I said that the Bears would be able to make the playoffs, but I didn't know that they was going to look like this. I didn't. And when I look at the Bears defense, it's like, dog, is the Bears defense like this? I mean, and what the Bears need, they need a legitimate win. They got a legitimate win over the Pittsburgh Steelers, but to have a legitimate win over a team that has, well, obviously, that has a better seeding, but now you get to a point where every game, it starts to matter. This game matters to the Eagles. This game matters to the Bears. I got the Eagles winning this game. As of right now, the Eagles are a 7-point favorite. The next game I'm going to cover, and I'm going to go pretty quick with these last games because these are just predictions and previews of Week 13. The next game I'm going to talk about, 49ers versus Browns. Got the 49ers winning this game. The Browns, even though that they had a good showing. Shador Sanders had a good showing. And I'm gonna get into, well, you know what? Matter of fact, while I'm right here, I like what Shador did. I'm gonna say this more on tomorrow's show. On tomorrow's show, rather. I like what Shador did. One thing about he had over 200 yards. I expected him to have over 200 yards, but the throws that he made, throwing the ball back across his body down the seam, 55 yards down the seam, and I mean the wide receiver, he just he just reached his hand out and the ball was right there. That's the type of quarterback play you need if you are a Browns fan. I know there are a lot of Browns fans right now. I was looking at Browns Weekly this morning. Everybody is saying that Shador Sanders is the future. But it seems like when we get to Kevin Stefanski, it's like, wait a minute, because in the press conference last night, he said that he was thinking about putting Dylan Gabriel back at the starting position. And I'm saying to myself, I am like, you know what? I usually don't do this, but I'm going to just go ahead and say it. How? If Kevin Stefanski, if you listen to this, I hope somebody clip this and put it to Kevin Stefanski. Now, I may use some profanity here, but hey, I try and keep it PG. But Kevin Stefanski, how in the hell are you going to go back to Dylan Gabriel after what you just saw Shador Sanders do? He led 3 touchdown drives in a game. Dylan Gabriel, he's done that on 3 separate occasions in the 5 games that he has started. So Kevin Stefanski, this is why I say Kevin Stefanski, he has a personal vendetta versus Shador Sanders. Now I know a lot of y'all gonna say I'm reaching, but it is evident. It is. It's evident because throughout the offseason, didn't mention Shador's name at all. Well, he always said, well, we have 4 quarterbacks that we are interested in. Didn't mention his name all game. And after they win the game, only thing, he going around the locker room congratulating everybody. And he was like, okay, he was like, congratulations to our rookie. Good job, Shador. And I'm like, come on, that's it? That's it? You ain't going to go down the statistics? You ain't going to go down about that 55-yard pass play he had, that touchdown that he ran, and those other plays that he made? And he was a facilitator throwing the ball down the field. In the first 5 plays, I remember on the first drive, Shador, he was 4 or 5. 4 or 5 for 77 yards. And I was looking at that and I was saying, okay, this is what everybody was saying. This is what we all was thinking about. And we all know Dion was right there. He was at the game, and I was happy when they put the camera on him. I'm like, that moment right there. That's a proud father watching his son go out there and dominate the game that he loves. Go out there and do what he was born to do. And I like what Shador said after the game. He said that when it comes to, people sugarcoating his game and saying that, oh, it was just 1 week of practice. I like in the press conference when he said, this is just 1 week of practice. Imagine what a whole offseason would be like. I'm like, yeah, this is what you got to do. Tell the haters that, hey, a whole offseason with me is coming. So the Browns, they got their future in Shador. Kevin Stefanski, you bet not mess this up. You bet not mess it up. Dylan Gabriel is a career backup. I've been saying that ever since the Browns got Dylan Gabriel. Shador, he gonna put fans in those seats. He read it just by the Browns naming him the starter, the tickets that were $11 for the Raiders game went up to $284 and up. So Kevin Stefanski, do the right thing and start Shedeur Sanders and keep him as the starter for the rest of the season. Because that's what I predicted at the start of the season. Keep him at the starting position for the rest of the season. So I got the 49ers winning that game. The next game, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. I got the Jaguars winning that game. Now, the Jaguars, they had a scare yesterday against Arizona. I'm going to just keep it like that. The next game, Texans versus Colts. Colts didn't look great yesterday, but I got the Colts in this game. And the next game, the following game, New Orleans Saints versus Miami Dolphins. Now, from one thing last night, I heard that the Miami Dolphins have a chance at making the playoffs. Miami is on nobody's radar when it comes to making the playoffs. So that's a bunch of hogwash to me for at least another 2-3 weeks. But I got the Dolphins winning this game. The next game, the Falcons versus the Jets. Not too many people are going to watch this game, but I got the Falcons. The next game is going to be the Cardinals and the Buccaneers. Cardinals are going to lose this game. The Buccaneers, I see them getting a bounce back win in this game. The Rams and the Panthers. This is a big game for the Panthers because the Panthers right now are at I want to say the Panthers are at the 9th spot in the playoff standings right now with a loss. Well, first off, the Panthers, they have to focus on tonight's game versus the 49ers. I don't see the Panthers winning over the 49ers tonight, so I'm going to just go ahead and chop that up as a loss. You're 6-6 now. You're playing against the Rams Sunday, and your season is on the line for the Panthers because you're 6-6. If you lose versus the Rams, you'll be 6-7. So, Panthers, you don't have much wiggle room. You don't have much wiggle room. So, I got the Rams winning over the Panthers, the Vikings, and Seahawks. Seahawks all the way. I don't have to give no deep analyzation there. Bills versus Steelers. Now, this game is one of the most intriguing games of the late game window on Sunday. Buffalo Bills offense is stagnant. The Steelers offense is stagnant. The Bills are a 4-point favorite in this game. The Steelers have Mason Rudolph at the helm. But one thing, why not give Will Howard a chance? The former Ohio State quarterback. Why not give him a chance? Because Mason Rudolph, he ain't done nothing with the Steelers in his previous stint with the Steelers and the game yesterday. So Mike Tomlin. Now everybody know I love me some Mike Tomlin. I'm not questioning his play calling and as far as him calling the shots. But if the defense for the Steelers don't play a perfect game, it's almost like the Steelers season is hanging by a thread now. And dare I say it, Mike Tomlin is in danger of having his first losing season ever in NFL history. Ever, because he's always had a winning record every season. And this is without reliable quarterback play. Now, what I am going to say is I'm going to go against the grain on this one. I'm going to go against the grain because Buffalo Bills, I don't know what I'm going to see from the Buffalo Bills because you have Keon Coleman. The coach is the coach has given disciplinary actions on Keon Coleman. He hasn't played in a couple of weeks. And the Steelers, it seems like they need a breakout game just for them to get back in the win column because they have to keep pace with the Steelers. Not the Steelers, but the Ravens, because that's what it's gonna come down to. The AFC North is gonna come down to Week 17, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. So I got the Steelers winning this game. And as far as the next game, Raiders versus Chargers, I got the Chargers winning that one. Sunday Night Football, Broncos Commanders, got the Broncos winning that one. For Monday Night Football, Giants versus Patriots, got the Patriots winning that one. And with that, those are my predictions for Week 13 of the 2025 NFL season. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Keytime Sports right here on YouTube. Key City Sports on Instagram. And the Key on Millions.co. Here is my profile and here is my media feed. Everybody, it's Thanksgiving week. I will be on tomorrow, but after that, I am going to take a few days off and relax and enjoy. We got some good football coming on later on this week for Thursday. We got some good home cooking. And we got the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday. Hopefully the Dallas Cowboys can somehow pull off a win. Patrick Mahomes, I love you, but I need my Dallas Cowboys to win this game. I need my Dallas Cowboys to win this game. And tomorrow I will be doing 2 shows. I will be doing a reaction video to all of the NFL action that happened in Week 12. And I will also be doing a prediction show for college football for Week 14 of college football. It is rivalry week in college football. So please remember. And also tomorrow, we have a special guest, basketball phenom Spivey Ward will join us for a interview. So please like, comment, share, subscribe, and remember everybody, the key is always on time.